Hello everyone! Welcome to my channel. Welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to be my update to Project 10 uses. So that is a series that I'm doing here on my channel where I'm trying to focus in solely on my single shadow collection. I try and use them 10 times. Once I do that, I roll new shades in. So I'm going to update you on this month's color story. There will be a new color story, so some new roll-ins to talk about today. So if all of that sounds good to you, if you want to see my progress, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't yet. I would love it if you stuck around. But with all that, let's get into this update. All right, so if you've been watching this series on my channel, you know this project has been a thorn in my side all year long. All year long, I've really struggled with this project, and I have made the executive decision that this is going to be my final update. Next month in December, I will do my finale for this project, and next year I'm going to reevaluate what I want to do as far as focusing in on my single shadows. I still want to do something, so if you have any ideas for me, please let me know down below in the comments. Like, give me some ideas, but right now this just isn't working for me and I need to switch it up a little bit. I'm almost wondering, like, maybe I should do a project 3 uses. Like, is 3 uses too low? I'm too slow of a panner to really try to pan shades, and I really just want to touch my collection mainly, not necessarily hit pan. So I don't know, it's just time to shake things up. I'm going to update you on my color story today, but after that, December, it's going to be the finale, and we're going to jump into 2026 stronger, because sometimes you just have to know when to admit defeat, and this project is not it's not giving me joy. So I don't want to continue something that's not going to, but I will at least finish the year out because we're so close. So let's talk about my color story. Right now I have 3 mattes, 3 shimmers, and then I have 2 single components. So I'm just going to start, we're going to start with this Z palette here, starting with the mattes. So of course the goal is to use them 10 times. And for these mattes, very easy. I am wearing these today. I will have everything that I'm wearing listed down in the description box. And you know, I just had no trouble with these mattes. It's the shimmers that we had more trouble with, but we'll get into that a little bit later. So let's go over these shade by shade. The lightest and first matte that I have is the shade Always and Forever from Sydney Grace. I only had this in the project for 1 month, so I rolled it in last month, and I got 11 uses. I had 10 uses. Today was my 11th. Here is what this shade is looking like. Really pretty easy shade. I mean, this is why I just want to touch my singles and roll more in. This year was having so many in for such a long time that it wasn't allowing me to rotate through my collection like I wanted to. And this was an easy one that just reminded me, like, what the purpose of this project is. The next one, kind of the mid-tone, is Lilac Daydream. The name kind of threw me off a little bit because I don't really consider this a lilac, but that decision was not up to me. And here is what this one looks like. I also got 10 uses on this really easy. I'm wearing it today, so I have 11 total uses. This one will be rolling out. I got pretty lucky with my mattes. I mean, let's be honest, the color story you're going to see was perfect. So I was able to use all 3 in conjunction each and every time that I did it, and I absolutely loved it. The third and final matte that I had was the shade Eiffel Tower. Perfect deepening up shade, but with that plummy undertone. Same thing. I had 10 uses on it already this past month. Got my 11th use today, so this will also be rolling out. Really, really happy with my matte selection this past month. I got pretty lucky. The shimmers, though, the shimmers is where the downfall began, and what made me realize that I need to just switch it up next year because I am struggling. The first shimmer I want to talk about is this one. This is Sydney Grace Fallen Empire. This is the only shade that is a rollover from the previous month. So it's been in the project for more than 2 months. I thought it was 2 months, and now I'm not remembering off the top of my head. So I had 2 uses on this shade, and then I got an additional 2 uses this past month, putting me at 4 total uses since rolling it into this project. I am struggling with this shade. I'm rolling it out. I'm actually going to declutter it. In the past, I've really pushed myself to use things 10 times and really give it a chance before decluttering it, but I'm just kind of over it. I just am. That's the honest truth. So this is going to be decluttered. The next one that I have is the shade Aqua Fever, this blue shade. This had only been in the project for 1 month, and I didn't use it at all. I'm also going to declutter this shade. This is just not a me shade. I don't know why I purchased this. My fantasy self was in full control of this purchase, and I'm not going to wear it. I have enough of this shade in different palettes that I don't need it in a single, so it's gone. It's going. I'm decluttering it, and that's that. The very last one that I have is the shade Defiance from Sydney Grace. This had also been in the project for 1 month. I had a pretty good update last month. I was able to roll in a lot of new shades. I'd worked really, really hard. Here's what this shade looks like. It's a very dark shimmer green, but I really didn't use it as a shimmer, kind of used it as like a deepening up outer shade. This shade I do like. So I used this 3 times this past month. So I still have 7 uses left to go on this. I am going to keep this in the project because I don't want to declutter it, or I'm still on the fence about it. I don't typically love a really dark shimmer, but it has its uses. I liked it when I used it. I'm just having a little bit of trouble using it, but 3 times is not terrible. Could be better, but for 1 month, it's not terrible for me. So until I for sure decide I want to declutter it, I'm gonna wait, which means out of the 6 that I had in this little Z palette, 5 are rolling out and 1 is staying in, while 3 are rolling out, 2 are getting decluttered, and 1 is rolling over. Now I did, before I sat down to film this, I did go through my entire singles collection when I kind of just decided I was a little bit fed up with this project. And I did go through my collection and I just decluttered about 10 or 15 shades. So that way we wouldn't have this situation again where I'm just rolling in shades that I don't want to use and are prohibiting me from rolling in shades that I do want to use and rotate through my collection. So I did declutter about 10 other shades. I decided not to film it. I kind of just wanted to go through, quickly declutter them. So those are out of my spreadsheet. They're not out of my tiny decisions wheel. We'll get through that like when we roll some new shades in. I haven't updated that yet, but at least my spreadsheet is updated and that's all that matters. Now on top of having single shades like from a Z palette in this project, I also roll in single component shadows. I've decided to roll in 2, and both of these are Glaminatrix singles. So the first one that I have is this one. Now, unfortunately, like I bought the single component for Glaminatrix and it doesn't have it at the bottom. It has it like underneath the shade. So I need to take the shade out in order to figure it out. But I believe that this is the shade Skink. And I don't know what that is. I think it's an animal because she did like a collection based off of animals. Let me know if you know in the comments. That'd be nice. But I tried to pull it out. I tried to pull out a shade last update on camera, and the shade completely busted. So I'm not going to do that again, but I'm pretty sure it's either Skink or Toast. And I'm pretty sure this is the one. It's Skink. Anyways, regardless, this shade here, which is stunning, I got 10 uses on. So this will be rolling out. I loved it. I usually like paired it with these 3 mattes, and then I tapped this on top all over the lid, and it was beautiful. I loved it so, so much. I think after I film this, actually, I'm going to go through all of my Glaminatrix singles because I have like 25 or so. I'm gonna, with my little magnet puller, take these out and then label the backs so I can figure out which one's which easily and not have the same problem that I had before. Then the second single component that I had was this one. I'm pretty sure this one's Toast, but I could mix these 2 up. It doesn't matter. I know the shade which shade was which that I used 10 times. So this one will be rolling over. I got 3 uses on this shade. It's kind of like this iridescent blue to pink. It just has a little bit more of a base than this top one, which is why I didn't reach for it as much. I am wearing it today, so I did the same thing. I used these 3 all over the lid, like this all over the lid, this to deepen up the outer corner, this to deepen up a little bit further, and then I put this all over the lid. I just don't love the flip as much. Like, I'm definitely more of a pink to gold type of shimmer person, less of these like cool tone icy ones, but it is very pretty. I still really like it. I'm happy to have it, and I'm very excited to still use it 7 times. So this will be rolling over, which means we will be rolling in 3 mattes, 1 single component, and 2 shimmer shadows. So we're just gonna move right along. I'm gonna pull up my Tiny Decisions app. We're gonna find out what the new Colorstory is. Now, again, like, I'm only going to be using this Colorstory for 1 month. I'm gonna see what I can do in that month. It is what it is, but next year we're gonna do something better. Let's first go with the matte options and just pull it in. Hopefully, Sydney Grace Regal, of course. I already had that in the project. I know what color it is. It's like this dusty purple, and I already used it 10 times. It's rolled out. I just need to update everything. Sydney Grace Laughter. I don't think I've used that one, and it's a neutral, so either way, it's fine. I'll roll that one in. Let's get 2 more here. Sydney Grace Keep Smiling. Most of my single collection is Sydney Grace, if you haven't figured that out yet. And the third and final, Sydney Grace Officer. Did I don't think I used that one either. Okay, so those will be my 3 mattes. Let's now go to the shimmers. We're only pulling 2 for shimmers. And the first one's gonna be Sydney Grace Versailles. I've rolled that in. I think that was one of the first ones that I rolled in. It's a really pretty gold. Really like that shade. All right, Cleona Reflectance. That's gonna be the first one. I'm glad we're getting something other than Sydney Grace. Sydney Grace Green Mist. Okay, so there are the 2 shimmers. And then for my single component, maybe I'll roll in 2 because it's the finale, right? And then I'll have 3, 3, and 3. Does that sound like fun? It sounds like fun. All right, first one, Half Magic Blushing Lizard. I've used that 10 times. I don't think I had it in the project, but I've used it. Nude Sticks Terra. Okay, that's fine. Or I did have the Half Magic in my project. I don't remember. All right, so the Nude Sticks one first. I think that's a matte though. And then a ColourPop Super Shock in I Heart This. Okay, that'll be fun. Let me go find all of those shades and we'll go over the new Colorstory. I was able to find those shades relatively quickly. So here is what the new Colorstory is looking like. A little bit dark, but that's okay. Let's just swatch this out. So the first one is going to be Sydney Grace Laughter. And this I don't think would be too hard, but I do think that this one looks a little deceiving. I think it's going to be darker on the lid, at least on my skin tone, than what it shows up as. It kind of has a little bit of hard pan. Let me scrape that off. All right, that's a little better. So here's a swatch of Laughter. On my hand, it looks pretty light, but I think I did roll this in, and that's why it has hard pan. The second one that I have is Officer. This is like a cool tone purple-ish. Kind of reminds me of that Regal shade, but darker. So these aren't really going to go together too much. I think I'll still be able to use this with some other things. And then the third one is Keep Smiling. This one kind of reminds me of Eiffel Tower, but more of a reddish purple than like a purple. Still has kind of purple undertones. It's not swatching very well, but maybe it's just my hand. Here's what that one looks like. It just looks a little patchy, but it could be because it's over my veins here. So there's the matte Colorstory. Now we already know about Defiance. This one's rolling over, so I need 7 more uses on this. We'll see how that goes. I mean, that is dark and pigmented. The next one I have is a Cliona shade. So this is, what was this called? Reflectance, kind of like an iridescent. Let's see what this flip does, because maybe that'll help lighten up some of these other shades. So here is what this one looks like. To me, it's like a purple green, or like a pink to green almost. That's what it's looking like to me. Really excited to use this. My Clionas definitely don't get enough love. And then the third shimmer is Sydney Grace Green Mist. This is out of the In Mel's Memory Bundle, if you have that. And it's going to be an iridescent with a green flip, or more like a duochrome, less of like when you compare it to the Cliona, clearly it's got nothing on that, but it's still a really pretty shade regardless. And then now for the single components, I'm pretty excited to like have this Nude Sticks roll in, because this is unopened, but it also kind of switches it up. A lot of my single shadow components are usually a shimmer, and this is a matte. So it'll be nice to just use this. It's kind of, I think, a similar shade to Laughter though. But, oh well, I'm having a hard time swatching on my right hand. Yeah, it's pretty much, it's like a little bit darker than that Laughter shade, but it'll be fun. It'll be fun to change it, because I have not rolled in a shadow stick. Then we have a ColourPop Super Shock in I Heart This. I think there's 2 different versions of this. I have the one that has the actual little heart. There's one that actually just says I Heart This, and I don't think that they're the same. But I mean, this is one of my favorite and oldest Super Shocks. So I know without a doubt I'll be able to get 10 uses on this easily. This is just an easy, really easy shade. This will actually go really perfect with Officer. Okay, I'm excited about that. And then the last single component is my rollover from Glaminatrix, which is, I'm pretty sure, Toast. So let's just re-swatch that so we can get the full Colorstory. And this is at least different, because I feel like Green Mist and the Cliona shade are very similar. And this one will offer some variety. See how much more blue, whereas these are warmer. So we'll see. We'll see what I can come up with this Colorstory. Let me just show you these side by side. Here's what we're working with. Definitely a difference. Really happy that I'm just decluttering these shades and not trying to make it work, but let's see what kind of damage I can do in the next month. And I will be thinking about how I can just revamp this by then. Maybe it'll be a finale and an intro at the same time. I don't really know yet. Could be if I can figure out something fun and exciting to do. But for now, it'll just be a finale. Anyways, though, this is my update to Project 10 Uses. Let me know down below in the comments if you are also focusing in on your single shadows and what you're doing to do that. How do you stay motivated? How do you go through your singles fairly quickly? Like I said, if I try to pan these, it'll be in here for the entire year. I am a slow panner, so panning them is just out of the question. But I need to find something fun and creative to kind of keep me just on my toes. I like the mystery of rolling in new shades, but maybe I roll in new shades and also randomize the uses. I need to think of some kind of game. If there's already a panning project out there that would suit this, please give me some inspiration down in the comments. But after this is where I'm going to leave you all. I hope you're having a great one, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, everyone.